well done. What a dramatic ending that was. Jorginho, can you sum it up?
That's Premier League. That's why it's the best league in the world. It's just beautiful.
Does that feel like a really significant win?
Yeah, of course. Of course, very important after the last results we had. And at the start, it wasn't easy. We were not producing our game. And then we came the half time. We have a talk, a chat, and then we went back to doing the basics, what we need to do, and we could change the game.
I've never told my goalkeeper to go to score one goal in the 92 minutes, because maybe I don't know the data what is, maybe one goal of 100, and maybe 20 times they are doing the transition and they are scoring 10 times goals, and today it happened. And for me, it's not really be smart, not really be consistent in how we want to play, how we want to compete. Because we can play, we can lose 2-3, yes, but 2-4 is not good result.
Do you sometimes find more values in wins like today, where you've had to come from behind twice, than what you do cruising 3-0 winners?
Well, you want to be at the top, you're going to have to win games in many different ways. You're going to have to score goals in the 94th and sometimes play with 10 men and come back results, and to do it, especially against this team in this stadium. A lot of credit to the boys. And
I can imagine the dressing room right now is bouncing. Is it fair to say?
It was absolutely bouncing, because it was a big effort to play less than 72 hours ago after the game that we had and after the result that obviously morally is touching, but really pleased with the boys.
Those days, so many chances. On another day, you could have won by 4 or 5 and you end up with just a point.
Yeah, you said perfectly. So we did a really, really good game, except the goal that we defend without commitment, our central defenders, but yeah, it was a really, really good game. So we did everything. We played perfect. We had an amazing chances. We were going to see the game. We could not believe it, but it's football. You have to score. So we didn't do it, and that's why we dropped.
Is it difficult to be critical because the performance was generally so good?
Yeah, we did everything. So I had to score. So yeah, you have to do it. So there's too many clears. So too many clears to score. But yeah, we played really, really good. One of the best games we have played, but we dropped 2 points.
Were you disappointed with the defending for their goal? Because they didn't have many chances, did they?
Yeah, just one. Yeah, it's football, so Premier League went right, but they should be. But in that situation, we should be more aggressive in that action. But it's happened. It's football.
You got a yellow card in the game. Can you tell me what happened there?
Yes, it was. Well, you saw it, isn't it?
I saw you get the yellow card, but I didn't know what it was for.
Well, Erling go one against the keeper, fell down, and I thought it's the last man, should be given a fault, but they didn't do it. Sometimes they are offside, sometimes they are not offside, so it's what it is.
So you thought it should have been a red card, that's why you were angry?
I don't know, I didn't see the image. I said looks like, so Haaland go one against Navas, why should go down if he's not being pushed, but we didn't lose for that action, so we didn't draw with that action. So we play a good game, we miss chances, and that's all.
OK, and talking of celebrations, of course, our own Ian Wright was in this very studio watching this game. As you can imagine, Wright, he didn't get too carried away.
I said Arsenal would score. Yeah! Yes! Yes! I shouldn't have been on my phone. Yes! Yes, man! With you? Yeah! With you? I said. Yeah! I told you it's going to be 4-2. I told you it's going to be 4-2.
I can't believe this.
Yay! I love Arsenal.
This again.
And I told you. And he loved the fact that Arsenal had gone back to the top of the league with that win. That defeat 72 hours ago. Is that the response of potential champions, Michael?
Well, imagine if they dropped points. I mean, everybody would have been talking about them slipping away, and is the pressure getting to them and all the rest of it. Only 1 point in 6 before today, so could have been, 2 points in 9 or 1 point in 9 or whatever it was. So massive result, not an easy game. Villa doing particularly well under their new manager. And a tough game throughout for 92 2 minutes, of course, you know, you're thinking it's going to be a draw, and then all of a sudden Arsenal show a bit of class. Some great goals in there, some controversial decisions as well, or non-decisions, let's say. But a great game and a great advert for the league.
Yeah, let's come to those in a moment. But just before we see the goals, there were 2 brilliant saves from Ramsdale there.
Yeah, I mean, especially the one onto the bar, Steve, was a brilliant save. And you always talk about a team that's going to win the league. There's key moments and big moments in the game. Can your goalkeeper stand up to them and make that save? Because if that goes in, it's obviously the atmosphere changes at Villa Park, and there's no guarantee they'll get the result. So it's a massive moment for Ramsdale and for the result today.
The crucial moment in the 93rd minute, it goes down as a Martinez own goal. For you, as a goalkeeper, was there any interference in his line of vision?
Well, in my opinion, there is. There's 2 Arsenal players clearly in the line of vision of Jorginho hits the ball here, and you can see them clearly right down.
Nketiah and Ødegaard.
Yeah, right down the middle of the goalkeeper's view. You know, it doesn't matter if it goes in off the top corner and goes in off his back, Martinez, but it can go straight down the middle. It doesn't matter how the goal goes in. Referees might look at it and go, oh, it's gone in the top corner, he's got no chance to save the money. But that's not the rule. The laws of the game says if the players are interfering. Now, you can see Martinez is sort of leaning to his left to try and get a look at the ball. There's 2 Arsenal players right in line with the ball and him. So for me, I think it should be given as an offside.
That's the goalkeeper. What if you were Eddie Nketiah standing there? Would you agree?
It's a really tough one, isn't it? Probably, actually. I'd probably agree with Shay. I don't think it's straightforward. I don't think, you know, because obviously people will be sat home thinking, yeah, but the goalkeeper would never have saved anyway. But I don't think that's really the point. 2 players are pretty much bang in line of the vision of the sight of the goalkeeper, and they're both offside, and they're both stood right in the middle of the goal. I probably would veer down on saying, yeah, that's offside.
It's such a big goal as well, Michael, isn't it? Like, it's the 93rd, 94th minute. It's the winning goal, basically, because I know they scored a 4th goal later on, but
yeah,
such a crucial moment. And I think that them big decisions we seen last week was the VAR has to get involved there. In my opinion, that should be disallowed.
Well, VAR was involved. It did check it, and it didn't see a problem.
But the laws say if he's in line of vision of the goalkeeper.
Just the messenger, Shane. Just the messenger. Unai Emery wasn't very happy about conceding the 4th goal. He wasn't very happy about Martinez going up for it, we heard there. What we have highlighted here is the substitute, Fabio Vieira, celebrating way before the goal goes in.
Well, there were celebrations all over the place, Steve, before the ball went in. This is fantastic. Look at that. And even Martinelli, before he actually played he took his last 2 touches. He had his arms in the air as well before the ball went in the back of the net. So I think it was safe to say he wasn't going to miss from there with an open goal and with his speed to run away. But no, you're right. Emery didn't like his goalkeeper going forward.
Just quickly, where are we with that?
I don't understand that. I think I'd be more happy if my manager came out after the game and said about the 3rd goal says that VAR should get involved. That goal should be disallowed because the 4th goal is the last kick of the game. Doesn't really matter. I don't know, there was some talk about before Emery and Martinez not getting on before he came back from the World Cup. So I don't know if there's any friction there, perhaps, you know, but I think that's a bit petty from the manager.
Away from home for Manchester City,
Well,
Pep
Pep, I guess
Guardiola says it was perfect. Kyle Walker, when we heard from him, said it was unacceptable to go to grounds like the City ground and drop points having won at Arsenal.
Unacceptable is probably a bit strong, but the course of the game, they should have been out of sight, as you know, Pep said. The chances they created, they should have been home and dry. But credit Cooper as well for his team. Nottingham Forest, how they set up. He said we sat in a bit of a sort of low block and tried to hit them in the counter. They weren't going to play open, expansive football against a team like Man City, no chance. And credit to Nottingham Forest, it's a great result for them.
Manchester City's chances that Shay's alluding to at 1-0 weren't just half chances either, were they? I mean, when you look back at them, how have they not added to their 1 goal?
No, I know, and you know, some of them, and the easier ones, fell to the person that you'd want them to fall to, and that's the big man, Erling Haaland. But they had ample opportunity. I think Phil Foden gets caught in 2 minds here. I would have gone myself. It's on his good foot. Laporte right in the middle of it, literally anywhere else. And that's why I don't like the saying.
Double save from Navas,
yeah,
give him some credit, you know.
We don't normally like goalkeepers on the show, Shay, but
you're stuck with me today, so.
But this is the one he hits into the ground to start with. But the second one is
massive chance.
Is again a massive chance. There's a Gundogan free kick here. Good save. But yeah, I mean, how they weren't out of sight will leave that man not scratching his neck, but scratching his head.
He was also shown the yellow card, Pep Guardiola, during the game. He was asked about it at the end. He felt, I think, there should have been a red card for Joe Worrell on Erling Haaland. Thoughts?
Well, you've seen them given, Steve. I know that's sort of my get-out, I suppose, but
yeah, so
he's gone through some mistake from Worrell. and he's pulled him back by the shoulder, and maybe it's outside the box, and that's where VAR maybe don't get involved. But if it's a red card, then they should say, have a look and see what you think. People will argue from a Nottingham Forest point of view, he's not pulled him that much, but he still pulled his right shoulder back. And for me, it's a free kick. Now, if it's a red card, I don't know. I don't know the rules anymore.
Well, if it's a free kick, it is a red card, isn't it? Because he's not made any attempt to play the ball. I'm not sure there's enough in it. There is definitely a hand on the shoulder. It's an awful touch from Worrell. I mean, he almost deserves a red card for such a shocking touch in the first place. But there's an arm that goes on the shoulder. There is a touch, but it's not a big pull. I think it's probably a little bit harsh if they start sending him off and red card and everything else that goes with it. So I think it was right for VAR to leave it.
OK, the neutrals are loving this because it's a proper title race now. We've seen what City did at the Emirates on Wednesday. Then we've seen Arsenal, City drop points today. Is this going to be a continual theme, or are you concerned that City have dropped points and that Arsenal could get some momentum again?
Concerned, yeah, because Arsenal in the driving seat. Of course, they won all their games. They won the league. That's the bottom line. I think Pep said a couple of days ago, or yesterday was in his press conference, about they've not actually gone on a run yet, Man City. They've won a game, they've lost a game, they've won a game, they've drawn a game. And again, they've won at Arsenal midweek, but they haven't backed that up today at Forest. They haven't gone on a really good run, whereas Arsenal have done. And if Man City don't do that before the end of the season, you know, Arsenal could win the league.
They've dropped 15 points away from home, Manchester City, this season. Their longest winning run is 3 games.
It's amazing, isn't it? You see them there, sat there on 52 points, and it's a really good total. But they just don't feel like they're absolutely purring at the top of their game this season so far, Manchester City. And, of course, Arsenal, it's amazing, isn't it? You see them there, sat there on 52 points, and it's a really good total. But they just don't feel like they're absolutely purring at the top of their game this season so far, Manchester City. And, of course, Arsenal, even though they've had a couple of iffy results, and amazing, isn't it? You see them there, sat there on 52 points, and it's a really good total. But they just don't feel like they're absolutely purring at the top of their game this season so far, Manchester City. And, of course, Arsenal, even though they've had a couple of iffy